The purpose of this video is to give you an early April update on the horses and what we have in the partnership. We are still hoping to add one more horse to the group. We have 8 colts that we're very excited about. In the following video, we'll see updates from David and Gordo, who purchased all the horses, and JB McCathan, who's been with them all winter. We hope you enjoy the update. There's more to come, and we're very excited about where things are at the moment.
The hard-spun Azarina colt was one of my favorites from the first time I saw him, and I thought he was a magnificent individual. He's a little bit later in the sale, but we were able to outbid Shadwell for him, and he's done everything right from day one of training till today. I'm very pleased with where he's at in his development, and I think he's one of the top-end colts in our partnership.
He is like the beast. I really like the horse, okay? He's the kind of horse that you love to train, because he loves to train and he's got the continence to just absolutely take it. The more you train him, the more you do with him, he gets bigger and stronger. He takes a really good exercise boy to ride him, and all we try to do is slow him down, and he's plenty fast. He goes nice on the turf too, but he trains so nice on the dirt. You know, everything that you want from a racehorse, he's showing me, and I'm real pleased with him.
The Distorted Humor Bon Jovi Girl colt was a horse I really liked at the sale, but unfortunately, as sometimes horses will, he has not developed as rapidly as the rest of, quite frankly, the rest of all the individuals in our partnership have. And right now, he'd be the least horse in the group. That doesn't mean he won't catch up, but just mentally and physically, he's just immature and backwards. The most important thing for a horse to do, in my opinion, is that every time I see it or every time you ask it to do something, it improves. The other horses in our group have done that. The Bon Jovi Girl colt, he's just kind of stayed static and behind. So we're not going to give up on him by any means, but we're hoping that he improves. He is a late foal, so he has some excuses, but if I was to say I was wanting more out of a horse, he would be the one.
He's probably the most backward of the group. He's physically matured very well since he's gotten here. He doesn't get really excited about much, and he's kind of a little immature. But he's training really well. He's really sound, and he has done extremely well since he's gotten here as far as filling out and turning into more horse, so we're pleased with him, but I'm kind of still waiting for the light bulb to come on. He's a big 2-turn, big framed horse. He's going to continue to fill out as he gets older.
The Giants Causeway Distorted Passion colt is another horse that I saw on the farms when we were doing some pre-sale inspections. Chad Brown trains the half-sister, Miss McDougal, who's a graded stakes winner. I've seen her, and he reminded me of a lot of her, except kind of a bigger, stronger horse, clearly because he's a colt and she's a filly. But he's a horse that stuck out in my mind from the day I saw him, and when we were at the sales, I was very keen to buy him, and I was glad we did get a hold of him. He moves very, very well under tack, and he'll probably be a horse that's best future maybe on the grass, but everything he's done from day one has improved. He kind of hit a little bit of a lull early on, but here of late has come on. He'll be one of the second sort of draft of horses to go in. He's not the most forward, but he probably would go in, late May, early June to Chad.
He's another colt that's not as kind of quick on the uptake. He hasn't really got it super figured out yet, but he's not showing me any anything that I don't like to see. He actually really trains well on the turf gallop. Giants Causeways, they run well on the dirt, but they run really well on the grass, and he enjoys it out there. Training forwardly and doing everything right, I can't say anything really bad about the horse. He's training well. He's quite a bit bigger than a lot of Giant Causeways, and he's also, he's a big, good-looking colt. And that's, you take a Giant's Causeway and have a big, good-looking colt. If he develops and even runs anywhere near what he looks like, he's going to be a nice racehorse.
The Tappet Curtana is the gold standard of what I would like to have to put into training every year. He was an expensive yearling at $900,000, but by a world-class sire out of a great female family. He's exactly the type of prospect that we were looking for and setting out to buy. He has, touched wood, at this stage of his life, not put a foot wrong and is acting like a very forward, mature mentally and physically in his development. I look at a lot of horses at sales and on farms since we've bought him. You know, he's in the top horses that I check in on or have seen all year. It's going to be up to him when he gets to the racetrack, but at this day in his life, I wouldn't trade him for any other horse that I've seen.
He's got a really, really, really well-balanced, nicely made horse. He's very talented. He's kind of a horse that we were thinking maybe would be a good horse to get ready for Saratoga and early races, just because he's very aggressive. He gets into his training big time, and he's really fast. And all we try to do is kind of slow him down, because, you know, we don't need to see anything near his level of ability, because he's a very fast horse. And that would be one that we're thinking, if all continues to go well, that would be a good early horse.
The Union Rag Shimmer Colt is another horse that I'd seen around. I actually passed on him as a yearling because I thought he was a little bit expensive for what he was. But when I saw him train at the 2-year-old sale, I saw him train prior to the sale at Eddie Woods. I thought he moved forward and developed a lot, and to be able to get him for the price we did, which was $400,000, I thought, you know, the other guy that bought him took all the risk, and I've got to see another card, and I was really happy to buy him for the price we did with what I think he's capable of. We're very high on Union Rags, who stands at Lane's End Farm, and this would be one of the better horses that I've seen by him, and he has a lot of nice ones. So I was very, very happy to get this horse.
Well, he just came in from the sale, and same with him. He wanted to go back to the track. He didn't want to hang out. He didn't want to just go to the round pen and take a little vacation or anything like that. He was ready to go back in training. Both horses come out of that sale in soundness really nice, so we didn't have to worry about anything like that. And you know, we'll gallop him for a while longer and put some breezes in him, and then, you know, see you know, from there. He's a very good looking horse, but, you know, really correct, good bone. I actually like the sire. The sire's got the babies that I've seen are nice, and they move well on the track. You know, they're kind of showing themselves in the videos, quite a few. So yeah, I do. I'm a fan.
The Harlan's Holiday True Feelings colt looks like a rocket ship. He looks like a very precocious, early maturing horse. He's done nothing wrong since we broke him, and he does everything very, very fast. So I would expect, all things being equal, he could be an early maturing, early running horse for our partnership with no setbacks.
He is a gorgeous, kind of dynamic-bodied horse. Like he's beautiful just to look at from point of balance, and he's kind of got a little bit of a lift to his stride, but it's not a bad thing at all, because he has a huge stride. It's a humongous kind of ground gobbling stride, and he's really fast. So he's actually another horse that we were thinking to be one of the first ones to get going, because he's really very much a Saratoga kind of horse. You know, as long as everything keeps going well, that would be the plan with him.
The Factor Zenith colt was a horse we liked very much early on. He kind of regressed a little bit in his training. I think a lot of it was because he was growing, and you know, like a high school kid, his body was outgrowing what he was able to do mentally. Now here in the last few weeks, he's kind of come back to that early stage of his training where we liked him quite a bit. He is one that will require a little more time to mature and develop, but he was trending the wrong way for a little while, and he's really done a 180 on it and going the right way. So he's a horse that I have some high hopes for, but it may come a little bit later in his career.
Right now, he's not showing as much talent as I think he has. Earlier, when we were first messing with him, he, letting him do a little breeze, and he showed a little bit of brilliance. But right now, I think he's just got to get it figured out. He'll work good one time, and then he won't work so good the next time. And he's a very attractive colt. He's a good-looking colt. But he just hasn't, for me, got it all together yet. On a good day, he trains like a really good horse, but he doesn't always have a good day. And I think a lot of it's mental. It's up in their head. And these babies, some of them are mature and some of them are not. And he's really not. They've got to figure it out on their own. In this business, like we don't have to teach horses to run. They know how to run. We don't have to, And he's just got to decide to do it.
The Tappet Bethan colt was the sale topper from the recently concluded Fasig-Tipton, Florida sale. He's by Tappet, who needs no introduction, and did everything effortlessly. What people don't realize is that the colt really didn't have a lot of training underneath him. So to do what he did was all his natural athleticism, and pretty much why he cost so much money. They just saw the speed, but we have dug a little deeper and knew a little bit more about the horse. And he improved from the yearling sales to today. We saw him as a yearling. He was kind of backwards. Didn't justify the price they RNA'd him at. But with this breeze he proved how athletic he was to go along with the pedigree, and the fact that he matured and improved so much from the last time I saw him made him a must-have individual to have in this partnership, and I'm glad to have him.
He's obviously a stunning individual just to look at. Obviously, he was going to be the sale topper at that sale, and we were going to kind of give him a little bit of a break and let him just hang out, but he's too much horse for that, so we just started galloping. We haven't done anything fast with him here since the sale, but we're just letting him go out. He wanted to train. He didn't want a vacation. He wanted to go back to the track. I mean, he's really, 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 really nice. At this point, with a horse like him, with the way he's made and his breeding, it's up to him. I mean, if he is what he appears to be, it's going to be real fun. He's the kind of horse that he could probably do anything. Anything that he did, it wouldn't surprise me.
As you can see, we're very excited about the group we have put together. Now the first three will be headed to Chad Brown in 2 weeks, and the rest will follow shortly thereafter. Good luck to everybody involved.